Hey, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the
Bert
Podcast. How are you?
Congratulations, Bill. What a fucking great performance. Dude, we watched it with the girls last night, and Leanne, like halfway through, goes, "Oh my God, that's Bill Burr." And I went, "Yeah." She goes, "That mustache threw me. This is Bill. Holy shit, Bert, he can really fucking act." I was like, "Yeah, I know, right?" She's like, the girls were through the roof. We loved the fucking movie, man. Loved it.
Awesome. That's so awesome. I had so much fun doing it. For those of you not familiar, he's talking with about the King of Staten Island, the new Pete Davidson, Marissa Tomei, Steve Buscemi, Dom Lombardozzi, Jimmy Tatro, all of those guys. Movie that just came out that is streaming everywhere. I know little people, some people are like, $20, but you can watch it with like 10 people.
Yeah,
it costs you $2 a whack.
We watched it with another family in their screening room, and it was awesome, man. It was so good, and Pete is amazing too. He's so lovable in that movie. Like, you just fall in love with him because he is a shit. The character is an unlikable character until towards the end. I'm not going to spoil anything, but but he becomes so. I texted Pete last night, and I was like, "Dude, you have an amazing movie. Congrats." And I wasn't going to text you because I was like, "I'm going to talk to him tomorrow." You did so good. My first question about the movie. You kissed Marissa Tomei.
Oh, God, the creepy morning zoo question.
Dude,
what was that like? Did you enjoy it?
She is so hot. She is so hot. And I swear to God, she is one of the best actresses we have in our generation. When she did All in the Family reboot, she stole the show. She is so talented. My Cousin Vinny is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. And her performance in that movie is better than anyone in that movie. She is fucking awesome. But, you had, legit, you hung out with her. You went to a Yankees game with her. You hung out with her.
It was a movie, Bert. It was a movie. It was it was make believe. It was pretend.
Okay, when you kissed her, did you guys use tongue?
Bert, I'm a married man and I'm acting.
So yes,
I'm acting. It was like, dude, I'll tell you what. There was literally people who weren't in the movie sitting on the stoop, over her shoulder, going like this as you're doing it. It's the most not romantic thing ever. It's all like, all right, it's like right before you go. It's like, is this like a kiss? Is this a kiss goodbye? Oh, okay. That's it. It's just like anything else. Like, how mad am I? Am I here? Am I through the roof? Veins coming out the side. It was the same thing, but she's definitely, she's the best I ever worked with. And I've worked with a lot of amazing actors in the little amount of stuff that I've done. So yeah, it was great. But as far as all your creepy questions, no, I'm a married guy. The best kisser I know is my wife. I'm going to leave it at that.
Oh, well, yeah. But if I got to kiss Marissa Tomei, I'd do an hour and 20-minute podcast on that.
Why would you do that, Bert?
Because, dude, she is so sexy. Dude, there's something about her that is really just draws you in. It's just, it's like they say you got that it factor. We'll pivot a tad bit in later, but Chappelle does a special.
Bert, you were a 14-year-old boy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Bill, I had a sex scene one time with the girl, and I got a boner in the middle of it. And I had to stop. I was like, I'm going to hold on for a second. We were dry humping, and I was like, this is still dry humping. We're still dry humping.
Hey, Bert, you're a method actor. So, you were doing your thing. So,
how many days did it take to shoot that movie?
We shot it over last summer. We started in the beginning of June, and we ended I remember my wrap date was August 9th. I actually remember my wrap date because I was so sick of that mustache getting into all of my food.
Yeah.
And I still remember after we wrapped, I was going to the beach with my family and we were still in New York. And I text Judd 6 times. Are you sure it's okay to shave it off? Shave away. Are you sure, dude? Took me 8 weeks to grow it. What are we doing? And he's like, you're all good. Shave away. I think we Instagrammed it too when my wife shaved it off. So yeah, that's what I do remember. And there's so much stuff too, on the cutting room floor of a lot of the firefighter stuff. Jimmy Tatro, Don Lombardozzi, Hank, Mario, John Sorrentino, all of those guys, Giselle, everybody just was crushing it.
Mike Vecchione.
Mike Vecchione
Had a great
Fuck, I
scene
kept
with
forgetting to bring up his name when I've been doing these things. And Action Bronson was hilarious. Everybody just kind of showed up, did their thing, and Judd would watch a couple tapes and be like, all right, they're leaning this way. You know, we have like 40 takes of Action Bronson saying different reasons why something happened. I don't want to ruin anything, but I probably just ruined the cameo, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
It really was a great movie, and like laugh out loud in so many parts, but it's not a comedy, but it was funny. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like it was funny. I think that's what made me laugh harder. It was like, not saying it was 48 hours, but 48 hours was funny as shit, but it's not a comedy, but it's funny as shit. Like,
I love that movie.
Dude.
I love that movie. And I'll tell you, that movie, I've said this before in other podcasts, the best gun sound in any movie I've ever heard is in 48 hours. That gun that Gans has when he's shooting that thing, he's got the tank top on.
Yeah.
Total badass. I love the sound of the guns in that movie.
I'm dying to know, because all I really know about Judd, I don't think I've ever met. I met Judd a couple times, but I think Judd's awesome. Is it like he just seems to have the magic touch? Like, did you see? I'm obsessed with this. I'm obsessed with like taking a look at the guys that are doing it right and finding the things they do right, but finding the things they do wrong, and like seeing like little things, like what is the magic touch Judd has? Because every movie he does with comics seems to be a home run.
Yeah, you'd have to ask him. I mean, I don't know how to make a movie, but yeah, he kind of has that Belichick thing where he can just keep, you know, moving on to the next second round draft pick that suddenly, you know, steps in and does the job for him. Like he's kind of like I would compare it to Bill Belichick, where he's winning with way less. You know, I'm not trashing anybody in the movie. I'm just saying I'm in it. So. There you go. But he knows how to win. The way a coach knows how to win. Like he doesn't need to just, you know, do like what the Lakers do, where they just buy every free agent in the league. Sorry, had to do it. Anybody can do that. Like go out and do like, you know, some of the superhero movies, like they got the budget. So it's just like you're getting proven people that you know can crush it. And that's why those movies are great, right? So, but he has that ability before people get their shot to kind of, I guess, see something. I don't know. But Pete Davidson really lobbied to get me in the movie, though.
Oh, for real? Yeah,
well, I had done an episode of Pete Holmes crashing, and I think Judd liked what I did on that, so he knew that I could act. And then, you know, I've known Pete since right as he started doing stand-up, and he called me up and was saying, like, you know, I'm writing this thing with Judd, and there's this part, I want you to play it. Would you do this movie? You know, which is so funny to me. It's like, it's Judd Apatow. Yes, of course. Yeah. Anything short of Full Frontal, I'm gonna say yes to it. So it was also part of me getting in there was also Pete.
Jimmy Tatro is fucking awesome.
He is.
Jimmy Tatro is really fucking talented. I love guys who can be very, very small in a scene, but make everything they do he's like a splinter. A splinter could be this big, but it drives you nuts all night. It's the thing you focus on. Man, he would steal the second he'd pop up. Both Leanne and I said, we gravitated to him like going, this guy's just interesting.
No, Jimmy Tatro is a star, and he has a really unique voice. And then also the choices he was making, you know, there's so much funny in there that a lot of his stuff got taken out. But if you know, definitely watch that guy. Like with all the improv, there was a couple scenes we didn't make the movie, but there was like, you know, 8 people going back and forth, like all kinds of funny lines. And he would always find his own lane that not only showcased his character, but also enhanced everything that we were doing. You know, if you just got 2 guys yelling, fuck you, fuck you.
Yeah.
He would know to be like, well, I mean, this guy's got a point. You know, he would do that, and then that would add this whole other, like, you know, 3D kind of thing going on. So I loved him, man. I'm hoping to get him on F is for Family. He's got that great voice. So, you know, if people watch F is for Family. Another thing I got out there, season 4. We get season 5. He's definitely, you know, there's a number of people that I'm trying to get in, and he's somebody I definitely want to work with again.
Lynn Koplitz, destroyed.
Oh yeah.
It was. You know what it was, Bill? You and Pete did. You, Pete, and Marissa Tomei were amazing. And by the way, fucking Judd's daughter,
Maud.
Holy fuck! I'm going like, that's his daughter. Like, there's no nepotism. She can fucking act. Like, she was great. Yeah. She was great. She was. I mean, obviously, she comes from Judd and fucking his wife, and she's a great actress, Leslie Mann. But Lynn there were so many people that stole the scenes. Like Lynn Koplitz, whenever she was on camera, she just hit it out of the park. Eat a dick. Oh, yeah, I'm all full.
Yeah. No, she's like an old tree as far as like just rooted into the ground. You're not moving her, and like I shouldn't have said old. You know, there's a big thing with women. I don't mean it like that. I just mean like she's just like she's planted in the scene.
Yeah.
So what? Like the actors that I work with that are like Lynn, where it's like everything it's like a boxer with heavy hands. Like everything is so fucking weighted. Like when they hit you with this shit, it could just be a hello, but it's such a legit. They're in it. It's like it hits you in the chest. You're like, oh fuck, I'm gonna get smoked in this scene.
Yeah, it was, dude. There's so many great performances. I can't find the kid's name. The kid that was the Kevin Corrigan was the guy who ran the restaurant, but the black kid that he worked with, who was awesome.
Oh yeah. Ricky Velez was great too. I gotta get now. I'm gonna feel like an asshole if I don't know.
Sam Adlon, Machine Gun Kelly, the guy that played Igor. Igor is a great character. Like, dude.
Oh, I loved him.
Was so rich with great characters that every scene kind of just chugged. It was like, you know what it was like? It was like you couldn't see where the punches were coming. It was just such a great movie, man.
And don't forget Keith Robinson, the Daniel Day-Lewis of stand-up comedians.
Keith Robinson showing up. Oh, that was.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin like some of those things. People will like to be surprised that they're coming in, but
I got surprised. I got surprised by the our buddy and his wife were in it.
Yeah,
it was just so cool, man. It was such a great movie. It was so well done. Congratulations to you,
thank you,
Pete, and to Judd. You guys really fucking did the thing that everyone wanted it to be.
Oh, good. All right, thank you.
All right.
Used to getting trashed, Bert. I don't know how to handle this.
Next one, you and Rogan. What a great fucking podcast. Holy shit, Bill. Your line about fucking Jaws had me fall off the treadmill. I fell off the treadmill, Bill. I
forgot that one. I saw it. I reposted it when I saw it. I'd forgotten that thing, you know.
It was
just a couple of fellas talking, Bert.
Yeah, but you know, it's interesting. You talked about how podcasting people are trying to steal from podcasters and managers and agents and the Hollywood accounting of it, and these companies that came in and said, oh, we'll just use that old format for radio and we'll plug it in. You said something that I've been trying to vocalize, and I've always messed it up. I said, oh no, they've got to pay for staples. They need pens. They don't need just a pen to write things down. That company needs boxes of pens in case anyone needs a pen. They can go get a free pen, and then no one cares about that pen because they didn't pay for that pen. And you said they've got to justify paying for their desk.
No, justify having a desk. No, what it's. I have no problem getting in business with people that aren't trying to steal from you, and that's really not the business model. Period.
Yeah,
it's just people. The level of stealing in business is, I mean, and they get away with it. It's fucking ridiculous. So, you know, I just feel a responsibility just out of dumb luck that podcasting came along before anybody knew what it was going to do, that we were all able to do what we did and get out in front of it. But now the businessman's going to come in and they only know one way of doing things. They come in, they take their dick out, and they bend everybody over in the room and start fucking. That's how they do business. And then they say, that's how business is done. And they, you know, I just cannot stress enough to any young comedian watching this is you don't need any help starting a podcast. You need help getting into a movie. You need help getting into clubs. You need them for that. This is something that you can just do yourself. And if you're willing to put the work in and you're good, you're going to, the cream will rise to the top. It's just what it is. And I've seen so many people, there's so many podcasts of people I've never even fucking heard of, but everybody's getting their slice of the pie and they're all living these great lives, which I love to see. And I just don't want to see, once again, the businessman comes in with the fucking lasso, rounds everybody up, all the money goes to him, and then he does his little purse strings and trickles it out down to us, and then, they tie it up in court. You got to sue them and all of this shit. It's just, it's fucking horrible. The way business is done, the dishonesty of business, and the fact that people can do shit like that and then sleep at night, like, not saying I'm a perfect person, but I don't know how you just fucking steal from people like that. And that's what they'll do. Because I have a bad feeling they're going to treat, they want to be, they got to get their fucking piss on it. So I was part of you starting it. And then you'll fucking do a podcast for 50 years and you left that agent fucking 40 years ago and you're still paying them.
Yeah.
That's what they want. And then what they want is they don't just want that one. They want thousands of that. And then I can just sit there in my infinity pool with my mountain of coke and my whores, as you're just giving away all this money you don't need to give away. You just don't need to do it. You don't need them to do it. And I bet that they're going to use their leverage, their position of power to say like, well, no, we only do straight across the board unless you do this. And, that's when it's going to separate the men from the boys, where you have to believe in your talent and not give into it. I fucking hate it, dude. I hate the way business is done as much as I hate, Trump going to have a rally in Tulsa, knowing what Tulsa means to African-American people, what happened there, and just being so blatant and overt with this racism. Because I'm not a political guy. I don't tell people who to vote for. But this guy has like such fucking hate in his heart. You can't not say something. It's like, Jesus Christ, buddy. I get it. You're conservative. I get it. You're into the religious thing. I get it. I'm not into that shit, but I respect that. But this shit here, especially with what's happening, just watching that guy, and those people fucking sleep at night. Still pillowcases, Bert.
For those of you not listening, this is how much Bert Kreischer has been listening and learning over this last week. In 1921, it was the Tulsa Massacre. There is a little town just south of the tracks, and a shoeshine boy tripped in an elevator and landed on a white girl. And she hit him with his purse, broke her purse strap. She went to the cops. They came and got him the next day when he was hanging out with his friends. And it was a massacre of black people. They went through this town. It
was also because they were doing really well and people were jealous.
Yeah.
They had their own shit going on.
They're doctors and lawyers all on this one street.
And I bet that shit in the elevator never fucking happened the way that lady said it happened. So
yeah. And
so
so
to have the standing president deliberately go there to inflame that is just, I don't even know how to fucking put it in words. I'm just amazed. I am so fucking amazed. Like when I'm just watching politicians my whole life, any little thing could take them down because they believed it could take him down. And he's just like, that's fucking guy, the shit that this guy's doing. When it comes to that stuff, all of that other stuff, international trade, I don't understand any of that. But just as far as like,
here's what I don't understand:
common decency as a fucking human being. I hate bullies, and I can't.
I don't like bullies. I don't like bullies at all. I think that's what really bothered me about. That's what bothers me when you look at any of these Karen videos that you see. The Karen videos, Karen's Gone Wild, and it's
white women are all coming out going, just for the record, I have a friend Karen, and she's really nice. Like they are so concerned about their friend's name Karen, rather than that's just a name. It's what white women are doing, and you're a white woman, and your focus in this is the white woman named Karen.
Karen's our N-word.
It's just fucking. It's fucking hilarious. And I just, the misogynistic side of me that I is enjoying the shit out of watching white women. Let me watch how they try to manipulate their fucking way out of this.
Dude.
There's another Karen that I know. One time. Just shut up and take your fucking medicine.
Here's my question.
Bert, can they ever just say, you know what? You're right.
No.
We need to work on that. Did they ever say that? No. Can you ever say it enough as a guy?
Oh, fuck yeah. Dude, I've spent this entire probably full year, 18 months, ever since Me Too started, and I heard people were upset. I have been one listening motherfucker. I don't tweet anything. I never talk politically ever really anyway. But, like, I'm curious because, like, I never heard about the Tulsa Massacre. I never heard about it in my life, right? Heard about it the other day. And
Dude,
then
there are so many fucking racial massacres and employment massacres that have happened in this country. Dude, there's one in Pittsburgh. I did a gig in Pittsburgh where the hotel was. This was before unions were going on, and all the people down the factory wanted to get paid and not have child labor and all of this shit. And they sent a militia down there, and they just were cracking skulls, and they just killed a bunch of people. Just came down and just fucking shot them. And that was white people on white people. So if white people do that to white people, you can imagine what would go down, and the complete lack of being prosecuted. I mean, that shit was going on right up until like as far as like, what's that horrific one where the three fucking white guys were sitting there. They either blew up the church. You can't even keep track of them, or killed some African-American people. And they were sitting there with smirks on their face during the trial. Like, it's like, how do you, like, you killed somebody.
Dude.
You killed somebody, and you're sitting there with a fucking smirk on your face. Like, that goes beyond, like, I mean, I've seen serial killers on trial, and at least they have like devoid of emotion, and they're like, you know, crazy. But to like be totally, like, this is how fucked up racism is. Someone could be like a loving father and all. But I mean, you saw that with like the Nazis. They remember seeing this thing. This guy would be like right on the other side of his fucking wall. They were putting people in ovens. And he saw on the other side, you know, another day at work, takes off his SS thing. He's playing fucking T-ball in the backyard. And the smell of what they're doing is coming over. I'm telling you, dude, the capabilities of evil of human beings is scary.
Here's what I say, though. I've said this. Don't ever underestimate your capability of being a bad person. Because when rage fills you, when rage hits you, and your ears get light, and your heart starts racing, and there's only one fix for that, and you're like, I gotta light a motherfucker up. Because I got videotaped. You're going full on Tampa right now. I love it. Dude, I was with the girls, we're walking the dogs, and I have my bandana around my neck. I don't have it over my face. I just have it around my neck, right? Girls have their face masks on, and a woman is either I have not seen the video yet, so she is either FaceTiming someone else or she is simply recording me. And she just puts her phone in my face from the other side of the street, walking the other direction, and goes, look at it. Another one, no mask, and it's like right on my neck. Whoo! I lit that bitch up, called her a cunt, and fucking all of a sudden, and I'm like, but you're just like, yeah. You're like, it's this weird when someone videotapes you. It is a fucking flex. It is like, go ahead, be an asshole, and then I go, listen, I have it, and then you want to say, you know what you should do in that scenario is go, you're right. I'm going to put it on now. But there's a weird thing.
No, but if nobody is within 6 feet of you, what is the fucking problem?
That's what I said. Somewhere
in all that blitzkrieg of cunts, I imagine you said that?
No, I said, we're pretty far away. And she goes, doesn't matter. Masks outside, even if you're exercising. And I go, I'm not fucking exercising. I'm walking my dogs, you fucking cunt. And then she goes, oh, got that on camera. And I was like, okay. It's brand friendly.
That's another thing too, is this whole thing of just people ratting everybody out while they just think that they're the greatest person ever.
Yep.
Like that's one thing that there's certain things that you need to rat out. Cunt is not, I mean, that's not a slur. No. It's just a fucking word. And and you know, not for nothing, she's kind of being, she's being like a little fucking, there's another one. Like, you couldn't videotape her doing something, going, there's another one.
Yeah. I was really kind of.
Oh, you should have called her a Karen. Okay, Karen.
Oh,
Karen
God
is
damn
gonna.
it, Bill.
Will Karen finally unseat cunt? Cunt is like the Yankees in the 1950s. Nobody could beat him for like 4 or 5 years in a fucking row.
Sure thing, Karen.
When is 1955 Brooklyn Dodgers going to come in with Karen and finally beat him?
Oh, my cunt was so under my breath that my daughters didn't even hear it, and she caught it though. It was such a fucking cunt, like a fucking cunt. But Karen would have been the home run. Here, I was blown away. I'm blown away about how many people tell people to go back to their own country. Like, who the fuck says that? I've never even thought that. Swear on my hand to a Bible. Never thought about hitting a woman, and never thought about telling a person to go back to their own country. What a fucking weird thing to say to someone. You know they went to school with you just like that. Like that. What
that they were born here?
Yeah, you know they were born here. There's a girl. Did you see the one Karen in the park? I couldn't see the girl's face really. I think she's Filipino, and she's just doing the thing on the step where you go like this, right, with your feet. She's working out, and the girl's like, "Go back to your own Asian country." Girl has no accent. It's not like she's cooking a fucking bat on these steps. Like she's just putting her feet like this, right? And fucking that is just blows me away that is where that person's brain goes.
Yeah, and they're also not they're not acknowledging that everybody who came here helped build the place. Some without even getting paid. So, listen, we all say dumb shit, but that's type of stuff. I mean, past a certain age, I mean, I don't know. I don't. And I actually, talking about this shit, I don't know that this actually helps anything because people either already agreed with what we're saying or they don't.
Yeah.
And I just wish there was a sort of a world where you could be like, say, like what just happened to you, where you could actually sit down and be like, all right, why did you feel like you had to be the masked Nazi? And Bert, why did you feel like, what from your childhood made you immediately go to cunt rather than like, hey, we're more than 6 feet away and blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. And it's just like there is something annoying in general about somebody telling you what to do.
Yeah. I'll tell you personally, I don't like being given directions. I have a hard time. Like, I couldn't work a job now. I think I've been on my own so much that someone couldn't go, hey, this is what I need from you. I'd be like, I need to choose to do that, or I'm not going to do it. Like,
yeah, I get real snippy with like TSA, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, if they'll be like, sir, could you just stand over here, please? Sir, and please. And I will deliberately not quite stand where they told me to. That's my own fucking rebellion. And, and I just, just full of myself where it's like, I know I'm not a terrorist. Why doesn't everybody else know? These guys are literally trying to fucking help prevent another 9/11, and I'm upset by it. I'm upset by it because enough time has gone by that now I've settled back into me in the universe between my fucking head, my ears. Yeah. Sorry.
It really stinks, man. I think a lot of it. Hey, Leanne. I'm talking to Bill. Do you want to say anything to Bill?
Hi, Bill.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Your husband said a bunch of nice things and said you guys enjoyed the movie. Thank you.
We did. It was great. You were so good.
Oh, thank you. Hey, you give me 100 shots at acting. Eventually, I'm going to connect.
You're very believable as that person. It was awesome.
Well, Ray's an asshole, and so am I. So thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I'll let you go. I thought you
Have a good day.
All right, we'll see you.
The
opposites attract, man. She is a sweetheart.
Yeah, I know. She's going back to the cuddle dungeon. I think there's just a lot of sadness in people. I think a lot of people are sad and angry that life didn't give them what they were promised as a kid. I think we give everyone so much hope. And I think social media has fucked this up, is that everyone believes I remember one day I was watching Cribs and I was like, I wonder when I'm going to get a yacht. I wonder what age I'll be when I get a yacht. And I haven't gotten a yacht yet. And by the way, there's no chance I'm getting a yacht. Like,
I literally thought you were going to start crying. I haven't got a yacht yet. And everybody's saying that I'm privileged. It's like, wait a minute. I'm still renting a fucking jet ski.
Where's my private island? Like, I remember thinking at one point I'll probably have a private island.
But there is shit. Like, I'll tell you what has really influenced stuff is when I was a kid, we moved around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And when we moved in someplace, whatever it looked like was how it looked. There wasn't this whole, oh no, the fridge has to be over here, and I need granite countertops and fucking squirrel fur around the fucking door frame. Like, you can't move into a house unless it's your MTV Cribs version of it. It seems to be, and like these fucking makeovers. There was like one makeover house show when I was growing up. It was called This Old House.
Yep.
And the guy, he would fix it up. He put a new roof on. He'd stain the floors, and it looked good. But he wasn't, as far as I remember, there wasn't that blowing out the floor, open door plan, and the top floor of your house looks like a fucking nightclub with aquarium lights and an infinity pool. I mean, it's fucking banana. Like, I've seen, like, I've lived in my place long enough where I've seen, like, there's always that house on the block that seems to be the one that's just kind of turning. Like, people live there for a year or two. And every single person who's gone in before they moved in has ripped a bunch of shit out and put shit in. You just think, like, where does that stuff go? Because I've been guilty of it too. I redid my whole friggin' house. And it's just like, not everything. I mean, a lot of it, the cloth wiring and the fucking galvanized pipe needed to go. But there was a lot of shit where it's just like, my parents would have lived with that. Dude, we moved into one house. I remember the master bedroom where my parents lived was where their bedroom. I guess the last person was like a hippie or whatever and wanted to make it look outside. It had this like electric lime green, like Kelly green shag rug. It wasn't shag rug where it was like this, but it was like the clumps, like the cowlicky looking shit.
Yeah.
And then it had like all these daisy like wallpaper. I mean, it was fucking hideous. It was like something like out of Anchorman. And I remember my parents being like, oh my God, we're changing this. Never changed it. Never changed it. And then their whole bedroom set was, my parents are conservative, so it was all really like, really like the wood sort of old school Garrison colonial looking shit mixed in with this, hey man, like, let's end the war sort of.
Yeah.
It made no sense. So I don't know.
I watch Pool Masters, like Ultimate Pools. I'm obsessed with anything DIY. Those DIY network is my favorite network. Building off the grid, dude. I want a yurt so fucking bad. I want to just
yurt.
See, this is where so a yurt's like a pop-up tent. They give you a structure that you can put together yourself. They give you the like teepee part of the top, and then you put cloth over it, and then it's an expanding like. Do you remember those gates that you'd put in front of the stairs so the kids couldn't go up in front of the stairs? One of those that it stretches around, and then you just kind of put cloth all over it on a surface. But it's amazing when
sounds like a teepee with a picket fence.
It was a little more high end of a teepee. It's
oh, sorry, Jesus, whoa,
pretty nice. So, but you look at whenever it's the pool people, I am always shocked that they're like, I've always wanted a grotto, and you're like, who fucking ever uses a grotto? Like, a grotto seems like
grotto seems so gross. You get like jizz in the pool, right? That means you want to go bang a bunch of people under a bunch of fake rocks.
Yeah, basically everyone gets a fucking grotto, and I'm
a
always
grotto
like,
to me was always the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah, exactly.
And all the actors of that time were doing blow off Playmates fucking titties, and then they all bang, going like, whatever the movies were. I loved you in Bullet. I got a new series called Bonanza. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting because I think that all feeds into why people are so sad and so upset. I mean, the one lady that got busted twice in one day, that Karen, she I think she's mentally ill. I think a lot of it's mental illness. I mean,
in what?
The one Karen got busted twice in one day, lighting up Asians, and I think she's like legit mentally ill. And I think it's just this weird thing about how do you teach your kids to grow up with like achievable dreams? Like, how do you say to your kids, listen, you can be a fucking paralegal. You don't like, you can just do that. Like, you don't have to be.
Yeah, I know. Cause what it is it's with the social media and all the camera and everything, everybody is sort of bitten by the celebrity bug.
Yeah.
That you and I got bitten by before it, when we were just like, well, I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I just felt like, for me, a lot of doing stand-up was like, I'm going to get up there and be funny, and then people will stop fucking with me. They'll think I'll be a great guy. Some beautiful woman will like me. I don't need to break the ice because she saw me on stage. She'll come up to me, and all my problems are going to get solved. And none of them were. None of them got solved.
Same thing.
All I did was become... Yeah, all I did was get good at telling jokes. And then everything else in my life was at the fucking starting line. So that's actually really interesting, where I think people with like, that whole Instagram thing and filming yourself, because that's another reason why I think comedians are so much better and comedies get better, is because the general public is so fucking educated on what plays because they've posted their own videos. And if what they post bombs, it's the same trial by fire that we get. The no laughs, getting heckled, getting shit, mean comments. They learn that they maybe need to lose a few pounds. I mean, you put yourself out there, you're going to get fucking trashed. So I think it is a good and bad thing. But I definitely think that it has men feeling like they need to have a car collection and an infinity pool, and young women thinking that they got to be slim, thick with the fucking fat ass, thick thighs and abs. And I mean, women even get to the point of that little fucking V thing with the lips. That's like a thing with them. Do your lips come together and then have like that? I forget what they call it. I don't know. I was hoping you could help me out there, Bert. I know you're big into the Botox scene. But like they've gotten into this whole fucking thing where they have to be like, just go through law school. You're getting Botox and you're in fucking law school. Like, you know what? Yeah, I've noticed with that is I was always talking too much here. Real estate agents. Like, when did they have to start looking like models?
Yeah.
I noticed that like about 10, 12 years ago, all of a sudden they stopped just having real estate. All of a sudden they would have like, first it was just some sort of perky, like, I just grew up around y'all. That was the vibe first. And then it kind of became like this, like, is that a first lady? Look at that pantsuit. That's impressive. And now it's like full on, like, is that a movie that's coming out? Oh no, they're trying to sell me a fucking 1-bedroom ranch.
Dude, I have seen, when we were looking at houses last year, I saw some fucking beautiful real estate agents. Like, real estate agents where you go into the house and you're just like, holy shit. I mean, we went to one house and this woman was so beautiful that I was like,
the house.
I literally was like, I'll take it. You're perfect. She was so like, and it was so interesting because it was so, the house was so overpriced.
Dude, I just thought of something.
What?
What about you ever seen like when they have these really high-end houses for like 40, 50 million bucks and you show up, it has a Lamborghini already in the garage.
Yeah.
In the future, when they have like sex robots, right? There'll be one that comes with the house if you buy it. And if in like the better the house, the better you get like a fucking 10. And you got to start a house and there's just that chick that's like a good shit. You know what I mean? But she's got a little back fat on her and stuff. Dude, there's gonna be a used sex doll market on fucking on eBay. Oh. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of miles, doesn't have a lot of fucks. Never did anal with this.
She's only had 6 boyfriends. That's it. 6 guys. She's only with 6 guys.
Always wore a condom. It never saw rain. All right, everybody. Manscaped. Listen up, fellas, because today we have a new Manscaped product alert. Manscaped just released the Weed Whacker. It's a nose and ear trimmer. The Weed Whacker nose and ear trimmer. I am definitely getting this fucking thing because I've cut my nose enough times. Take a look in the mirror, and I guarantee you'll see hairs sticking out of those holes. It's time to keep your ear and nose hair looking as nice, as clean, and as your clean-shaven pubes. Manscaped is forever changing the grooming game with their Weed Whacker. This nose and ear trimmer provides proprietary skin-safe technology which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes. The premium... That just made me think that somebody might use this on a different fucking orifice. The premium Manscaped Weed Whacker uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual-blade system. Its intelligently contoured design enhances the trimming experience, and it is waterproof, which makes for easy operation and cleaning. The only nose hair trimmer on the market with a powerful and rechargeable lithium-ion battery that lasts for up to 90 minutes of use. Have you ever pulled your nose hairs out with your fingers? They might hurt worse than nick. Oh, that might hurt worse. This is a great punchline. I'm fucking it up. That might hurt worse than nicking your balls. You still gave me the gratuitous laugh. Thank you. Courtesy laugh, sorry. Manscaped is making whacking your weeds a time to look forward to, delivering maximum confidence while providing hygiene. Yes, you will get a replaceable blade every 3 months to keep your weed whacking time clean and enjoyable. Look, fellas, 79% of partners polled admitted that long nose hairs is a major turnoff. Only 79%? It's time to upgrade your Manscaped routine with the Weed Whacker. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code. I don't have a code, Andrew. Something at Manscaped.
Bill Bert.
Oh, Bill Bert at Manscaped. Thank you, Manscaped, for keeping our pubes trimmed and the hairs in our holes looking nice. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code Bill Bert at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. And use the code Bill Bert. What are you waiting for? Go whack your weeds.
All right. This podcast is brought to you by Simply Safe. What's the number one sign of a bad home security system? A home security system.
Criminal in your house. Saying you call that a fucking security system?
A home security system that's so complicated you never use it. This is exactly the type of security system Simply Safe has spent a decade fighting against. They believe that simple is safer. And it's exactly why Simply Safe is the home security system for right now. When you feel safe at home, when feeling safe at home has never been more important.
Oh, you got the yips. You're just like me. Now you're in your head. Come on, Bert. You can read this.
Simply Safe was designed to be easy to use while protecting your home 24/7. That's your whole home. Order online with the click of a button. Open the box, place the sensor, plug it in, and your home is protected around the clock. No technician or salesperson has to come and disrupt your house. You don't need to pay any outrageous monthly fees or sign a 2-year contract. Simply Safe was named the best overall home security of 2020 by U.S. News and World Report. And their 24/7 professional monitoring and emergency dispatch starts at 50 cents a day. Head to simplysafe.com/BillBert and get free shipping and a 60-day money-back guarantee. That is simplysafe.com/BillBert to make sure that you know that they know that our show sent you. I don't even know if I read that right at all.
No, I think you did a great job. I get it. They made a security system that even an idiot like me can put up. No drilling, no wires, bing, bang, boom, it's there.
Hey, Hertz is selling almost their entire fleet right now.
What, their cars?
Yeah, Hertz is selling they're losing money because of the pandemic, and they've got to liquidate some of their fleet to make money. And you can get a great car for a great price, and they deliver it to your house.
Hertz actually declared bankruptcy. The day after they declared bankruptcy, if you bought the stock the day after that, it would have been up like 1,400%. I don't remember the exact amount of time that went by because they got bailed out. So essentially, they got bailed out by the government, filed for bankruptcy, right, all around the same time. And then their stock went up, and now they're selling off those assets. So they're selling assets Yeah, it's pretty screwed up.
That sounds like a movie Steve Carell is going to star in.
Yeah.
Where somebody's going to get caught with their pants down on that one, like they knew that it was, and then we'll just say we're going bankrupt, and then we'll get bailed out. Like, when did they know that they were getting a bailout? I don't know.
Yeah, but buying a rental car would be like buying a used sex doll. People trash rental cars.
Yeah, that is definitely dumb. But I guarantee you, they're not. I don't think that are they selling those Camaros?
They're selling everything, man. They're selling BMWs. They're selling Cadillac, a lot of Cadillacs, a lot of Fords. I mean, I'll tell you, the best buy you can get from there would be one of the minivans. Minivans are so fucking good. I wish they didn't look like they looked. I wish they could just clean up the outside and make them look kind of manly. But the minivans are great cars.
Well, you should get one for a good price and then take it to a custom car place.
I was looking because Georgia just turned 16 last week, and we want to get her a car, but it's really tough right now because you can't test drive anything. You got to set it up, and it's not like you could just go to the dealership. And so I was looking online today, and I was like, you can get a used Ford Explorer, which is a really nice car, with like 1,300 miles on it. I used to have a joke, Bill. I've never had sex with a virgin, but I did get a rental car with 7 miles on it one time. And I was like, okay, well, this is nice. We're going to take it slow. I'm not want to go too fast. You'll bleed all over the place. But yeah, so I was looking through Hertz today. I don't know.
There's a few, I love those car commercials. Now when they're sitting there going, we're all in this together. It's such a difficult time. Like how they're framing that. It's like, yeah, everybody is losing money hand over fist and you want me to buy a new car? Like, how does this, like, in what, one of the biggest depreciating assets the second you drive it off the lot. In what fucking world am I going to do that? I feel like right now the big thing is whatever your hobby is, whatever the fuck you're into, there's somebody that, but you're taking advantage of people. Like I said a couple months ago, like, right, if you're going to buy a boat, if you're going to buy a motorcycle, a hang glider, just that recreational, an RV.
Yeah.
This has got to do. There was a place over in New Zealand, some place that had like 3 or 4 of those A-Stars, like the police fly, those helicopters, went out of business and was selling those things with low hours for a song. I actually looked into how much it would cost to ship it back.
No.
They take it apart to some extent. One of my buddies asked me, so like what? You'd like fly it back? He asked if I'd fly a helicopter back from New Zealand.
I was by the way.
We just sort of, we'd get really high up and have some oxygen and try to auto rotate to Fiji, and then we get back up there. There's a way. Fly along China and North Korea and get fucking shot down.
I think everyone's financial plan. When I was a kid, I was like, all you got to do is be that guy who's got money right before the Great Depression. Like, save your money and wait for the Great Depression. And then when you have money and something bad happens to the economy, you don't want to be. I feel like those guys are like cleaning up. They're like the dirty rich people, Like they're like, I'm gonna get that property. I'm gonna just clean it all up. Everyone's falling. Hey, get out of here by Thursday. You got to get out of here. You couldn't pay your bills. We were there for 2008 when it happened with the real estate market, and I remember being like listening to people going, yeah, man, they defaulted on their loan. They got it. We're gonna short sell it, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah, no, that just feels dirty to me. I hate seeing people lose. I don't mind a few sports teams losing, but I don't like getting shit that way. There's got to be another way to like. Yeah. It's such a filthy game. I remember when I first got my old truck, and I was talking to this guy, and he was like all about that whole scene, and he was saying, next time you get something, he goes, what you want to do is find a guy who already invested all the money in it and is going through a divorce. And I was just like, oh, fuck. I go, you've done that? He goes, yeah, I've done it a couple of times. And I was like, what? I go, can you even look the guy in the eye as you come up there? He goes, yeah, there's not a lot of talking. I was just like, wow.
I had someone in Canada one time say, you know what you got to do is, because I wanted a motorcycle. They're like, come up to Edmonton around September. I said, why? And they go, everyone's getting rid of their motorcycles because it's going to start snowing. People selling motorcycles like crazy.
That's not bad.
That's
That's
not
just
bad.
a weather thing.
Yeah, that's
But
not bad.
I don't want to take it because, your mom got tuberculosis and the fucking what are those fucking bull weevils, whatever you call those, that fucking bug ate your crops. I don't want to get a good deal because of that.
And I believe in bad luck. I believe you can go, oh, this house, man, like the same way you'd say, oh, like a whole family was murdered here. You can get a good sell on it. You'd be like, I'm good. But if they go, no, they were divorced and it ended really nasty, you're like, I don't want that energy. Maybe it's the house. Maybe it's the way the kitchen's set up. So every morning when you wake up, you're like, motherfucker, I got to walk around this beam.
Wait a minute. You think somebody would kill somebody because of a beam in a house?
I don't know. You never know. You never know. Is there something in your house that, like there's a step up to a step and you stub your toe on it every fucking day?
Are you a superstitious person? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. You should have seen the face he just made. I think that the shot was on me.
Yeah, Bill, I am the most superstitious person in the world.
Will you put a hat on a bed?
Oh, I don't have, no, it's not the ones that everyone else has. I have owls everywhere because I believe owls are good luck. If I see a penny, I always grab it. I can.
You cheap motherfucker.
I can spin myself out in superstition. Like before I'm shooting a special, my superstition levels are through the fucking roof.
Okay. I see what you're saying. That's all right. A couple of owls. You get a little fucking OCD before a special.
Hardcore. You don't get it.
I have superstition. I am a big believer in not talking shit.
What do you mean?
And just like I don't know. It's just like I know that any second it can all go fucking sideways, and just walking around. And also I think it's a bad headspace for me. Other people I think it works for them. Because when I watch Muhammad Ali, no one talked more shit than that guy. But when I watch it, I'm like, this guy's like his own self-help book. The way I'm fast, I'm pretty, you can't stop me, and blah, blah, blah. And then you think of all the shit he went through growing up in the 1940s. He needed to do that. But like, I don't know. I just feel like if I started talking shit and thinking I was the shit, that then you get complacent. You feel I don't need to work. You see my last shit joke? There's plenty more where that came from. And then you just like dry up.
Oh yeah, I definitely don't. When it comes to stand up, I'm too self-deprecating in that, like, and that night, I think I really truly enjoy what other people do so much. Like I really enjoy watching other people think. Did you see Chappelle's new special?
No, I have to see that. I usually don't watch specials, but that one feels like is required viewing.
Yeah, Leanne has been someone that whenever I put on anyone's special, she's always like, I don't get it. Like, I don't, what is this? I'm not, is like, she never really gets specials. And I put on Chappelle. We were driving in the morning that it came out. I watched it in bed the night it came out. That morning I watched it. And then me and her had to drive over to do something and then come back to the house. And I was just playing it through the audio. And just his beginning, like 5 minutes, she was like, wow, this is going to be powerful. It really is. It really was. I don't like that he shit on drive-in movie theaters, but whatever. He's like, can you believe there's guys out there doing stand-up at drive-in movie theaters? People are honking at your jokes. Nah, not for me. And I was like, I'm the guy. Next week. I'll see you next week.
Yeah. Well, listen, dude, believe me, if I wasn't dealing with, having a newborn at home, I got to jump on stage somewhere. I'm going nuts.
We haven't talked about that. How's the transition been from 1 to 2?
It's, the first few months, all they do is really sleep. So it's just beginning. It's wild. Like, he, just in the last couple of days, like now he's looking around, he hears a noise and he turns towards it. And it's crazy, dude. Like the love I already have for him. It's so bananas. It's like we never talk, we never hang. I don't know if we even vibe. And I'm just looking at him. I watch him yawn. I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna teach you how to fly a helicopter. I'm gonna teach you how to drive 302. We're gonna play fucking hockey. Like I'm just like, but whatever you want to do, I'm not going to force it on you, but these are some of the cool things I know how to do. My dad taught me how to drive when I was 12. I'll teach you when you're 11. Like, I'm just talking to him. So
did you have, when we had Isla, we had Georgia, I think ours were about the same age. Ours are 2 years apart, a little over 2 years apart. No, just about 2 years apart. And we had Isla, and we were in the hospital, and I was in the cot, and Isla was in the room with us. And the first time I heard her cry in the middle of the night, my first thought was, why the fuck did I do this again? Shit. Like, I'm going to be getting up again for another 2 years. And we had just gotten through that with Georgia.
No, I had the same feelings the last 3 months of my wife's pregnancy, when she's sitting there going, oh God, I'm over this. I'm like, I know, honey, you're almost there. And in my head, I'm like thinking all these selfish thoughts. I'm so glad that little baby is in there and can't go anywhere and doesn't need anything. It's totally safe in there. And you are 100% dealing with this, because I'm already like, when they get into that third trimester, the level of shit that you're doing at that point, especially during a fucking pandemic. I was wearing a lot of hats, dude. Okay. I was a dishwasher, the busboy, the cook, taking out the trash. You name it. She couldn't move. I was doing everything. And that babysitting her, doing everything with my daughter, doing fucking all of that shit, and then running up and down the stairs for her. And I was already fucking wiped out. And I'm like, oh my God, this kid's going to come. And then it's going to be back to just that. Like, I remembered what it felt like to sleep like 90 minutes at a time. Every time I'd hear my daughter cry the first time, and my wife would give me that nudge, and you had to get up. It was almost like you like in a dream state. Yeah. And I change a diaper, and I talk to her, and I bring it in, hand her to my wife. She'd breastfeed her, and I would just go to sleep. And then another 90 minutes, like that interrupted sleep. And I would wake up feeling like hungover. So I was definitely worried about that. But the thing that happens is when the kid comes, like, I have such a, I don't know. I have such, like, my childhood and shit that happened to me that I liked and didn't like is very vivid to me. So I'm remembering the stuff that I liked that I'm keeping, and the stuff that I didn't like, I want to try to get rid of. And so yeah, there's all of that. Like, it's just like there's a few times I've been out to shows, done shows, and I've seen a dad and a son, or a mom and a daughter, or vice versa, or whatever, and they hang out.
Yeah.
And it always stuck with me, like, wow, man, you crushed it as a parent, where if your kid's like in his 20s and like, well, hey, Dad, let's go get a beer. Like, to me, that's the championship ring, that the confetti's coming down. And I'm obviously looking forward to the whole ride. But at the end of the ride, it would kill me if my kids didn't want to go get a beer with me. I know I'm their dad, so I'll be a little bit corny, but like, if like they get tickets to like a game or something, and one of their thoughts is maybe I'll take Dad, that would be the shit.
Yeah.
That would be the shit.
That would. Yeah, I'm going through a rough patch with my oldest right now, who just has all the answers, and I am turning into the boyfriend that all my girlfriends broke up with. Like, I'm turning into that guy where I'm like needy and like, and and Leanne sees it and she's like, you're gonna get dumped. She's like, no one likes this, Bert.
Yeah. No, there is that thing where you kind of got to. I'm going through a thing right now with my daughter where she's getting really bossy. It's like you play with her and it's like not fun, because she's like, no, you need to do this, and then I say this, and I got to be like, sweetheart, this isn't playing. It's just you dictating. Like, you have to understand that when you go to school soon, that when somebody plays with you, it's the collaboration of your imaginations. I mean, I don't say it that way. Obviously, she's not going to know collaboration, but like. So, it was funny because I remember there was that whole feminist thing about the word bossy, and that's not going to make her a leader. And it's just like, you can't, with a kid, male or female, just take your hands off the wheel at 3 years old, because you're going to raise a fucking uncaring lunatic that you're then going to unleash out on the world. And so, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm saying you're being bossy.
Sometimes. So my sister's not gonna like me sharing this, but it was just fucking comedic. When she has a son, she's pregnant too. She's pregnant and gonna give birth soon as well, and she has a son who's probably your daughter's age, I'm guessing. And there was a period where when he got upset, they'd sing "Happy Birthday" to him and light a candle, and then it would calm him down. And it was something that they didn't see as a problem. And then Leanne, my wife and my daughters and I, who my daughters, Leanne raised George and Isla like a little bit strict. You know, if you had a meltdown, we're going to fucking deal like this. You're going to your room. We're going to figure this out. There was no appeasing them too much. And so we went on vacation one time and he started melting down, my nephew, and real panicky. My sister and her husband started singing "Happy Birthday" to him. And me and Leanne and George and Isla are like, you can do that? And so they don't.
But aren't you raising then somebody who thinks every day is his birthday and deserves a cake with a candle? I mean, you get a fucking lunatic.
Oh, this kid is perfect now. Like, we just spent a weekend with them. Like, when we were in Malibu, they came with us. And the kid's great now. But, man, that was a touch-and-go time when he was a baby, because if he
It's a hostage situation. It's literally a hostage situation, and you have to say the right thing through the megaphone, or you're going to lose control of your house.
Oh, it made us, me and Leanne, this is when it happened, was probably well over a year, maybe 2 years, a year ago. And me and Leanne got in bed in our room, and the girls were in another room, and the girls came into our room like right before bedtime, and they're like, "Hey, is that singing "Happy Birthday" to him healthy?" And we're like, "No, not at all." And they're like, "Okay, just trying to feel it out." But yeah, it made us laugh so hard. And then it became just my sister's so like matter of fact. She's like, "Yeah, I know this isn't great, but this is the only thing that gets them to stop crying. So everybody, happy birthday. Let's do it. Let's do it."
And here's the thing. In that moment, you got to ride with her, because she's dealing with it. And it's just like, if it fucking works, it's some little stupid fuzzy thing. Sometimes you kind of got to go along with it. I will tell you one thing that I loved about how my parents raised me is that they did not coddle at all, which I think there was a rebellion against that. And I'm seeing the fallout of both. I mean, I'm walled off. I got my issues. But I can handle shit. My wife would die laughing. Except if I'm putting together a fucking dude, I had to put together this little child swing.
Yeah.
And my eyes are gone. And the instructions on things now, they're borderline, they're flippant. It's rude. It's just like, it's a little fucking picture this big, and then they do a little explosion thing. And I'm like, am I really supposed to fucking figure that out? And so I'm fucking saying the thing's a piece of shit. And my wife knows the explosion's coming. And then I finally put the fucking thing together. You know those things where you got to push in that little metal nipple, get it in there, and then it pops out?
Yeah.
And if you put it in wrong, then you got to be MacGyver and to figure out how to take this. Dude, I put this thing together and took it apart like 5 times. And then finally when I get the thing together, I lift it up and one of the things comes out. I'm like, what the fuck? And it was missing a nipple. So it was never going to be. And now I'm looking for duct tape. I'm like, this thing's a fucking piece of shit. So we got into a fight yesterday, and I didn't realize that my wife had figured the thing out. And she goes, yeah. And you know what? She goes, you're dumb. Because you can't even put together a child swing. I go, what's missing a nipple? And she goes, you put it in backwards. You fucking idiot. And I was just sitting there like, eyebrows still up from yelling. I'm like, all right, you got me on that one. So, no, dude, I was having like a meltdown. I am like, I was literally looking at the thing, just like looking at the instructions. I was saying to my wife, I'm like, how are these acceptable? Like holding up. How is this acceptable? Is there any Better Business Bureau? Is there a number? Is there someone you can get on the phone? It's just, here's the thing. You figure it out. Go fuck yourself. And my wife sat down and just totally figured it out and put it together.
Oh, dude, I got 3 victories on Leanne. That's it. I got 3 victories. One is is the other day, when I'm talking to her, sometimes she'll just be texting, and I'll stop talking, and then she'll go, "What? I'm listening." And I go, "Yeah, but I think it's because," and I always defend it. I think it's because I'm a stand-up, and I know if someone's texting in the middle of a show, they're not listening, and it just kind of aggravates me. It's like a little trigger. So don't text, and then she'll make like a big deal. Okay, what do you want to tell me? And you're like, well, no, I don't want to tell you anything. So the other day, she's telling me a story, and I'm on my phone, and I'm just scrolling through Instagram, and she goes, "Hey, can you put your phone down?" And I go, "Oh, no, I'm listening. Go ahead." And I kept scrolling. She goes, "I feel like you're not listening." I go, "Oh, I know, because I'm looking at my phone." I go, "Oh, hold on." And I put it down. I go, "Now I'm ready. Go ahead." And she goes, "Well, now I don't want to tell you the story." I go, "That's how I fucking feel. That's how I fucking feel." And she,
wow, dude, you did a 2-point reversal.
And she saw it, and she couldn't defend it, and she just sat there and was like, "You don't have to throw it in my face." And I was like, "That's one victory. That's one victory."
That's when you know you won. When they say you don't have to throw it in my face, that means you got him.
I go, the other day I was smiling in the kitchen. She goes, "What are you smiling about?" And I go, "I got 3 victories on you." And she's like, "You're still thinking about that?" I was like, "Fuck yes."
I like it. See, I like talking shit like that.
Yeah, I love it.
I remember my wife one time she was going through a pregnancy, and then she was panicking because of the whole Corona thing and all of that, and what's the hospital's going to be like. And it was like, it was really scary when people were buying like 9 years worth of chicken, not realizing their freezing couldn't hold it, and they threw out all those dead birds later. She was having like difficulty, like she was going to sleep and then waking up, having problems breathing. She was having a little panicky thing.
Yeah.
So like, I just was going, all right. I started calling her Breathy.
Wait, what was the hospital like?
How you doing? What they had, dude, it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, those people, that's their business.
Yeah.
They had all the Corona coffees coming in one way, and then they had all the moms coming in the other way. So we didn't even see each other. It was separate but equal entrances, Bert, during these difficult times, and it worked. No, they had the whole thing down, but what there was it was definitely Bronx Tale. Once you got in, you couldn't leave. It's like, now you can't leave. Yeah. So the last time when my daughter was born, I could go out to In-N-Out, grab a burrito, and come back.
Leave.
I could not leave. If I wanted to leave, then I couldn't come back till my wife was going to leave. So, and then there was also a thing where
around the hospital?
A little bit. Oh, by the way, dude, in your lifetime, how much fucking money have you just lost in a vending machine? I mean, that fucking change return thing has never worked.
Oh, never.
This fucking thing, dude, I came downstairs, okay, and I would been eating hospital food, which was good for hospital food, but it was really high in salt. So I'm like dried out. So I came down and I was, now I want sugar. So I went down there. I was going to get myself a root beer, which of course they don't have.
Yeah.
Just like a redhead, the unrecognized minority of the soda family, the root beer. I wanted M&Ms and I wanted something else. And they were $1.25 each. And I put 3 $1 bills in, right? That old school, when it goes in, and it spits it back out. I did that for fucking 5 minutes. Then I finally get it in, and I'm pushing the button. It's saying wrong amount, wrong amount, wrong amount. And then I realized it's exact change. I had to put $1 and then a 25-cent thing in. It wouldn't accept my credit card. It wouldn't read it. And I had $3 in there. I'm like, great, now I'm going to get $3 in quarters back. I got nothing back. I think that $3 probably pushed me over a lifetime. I bet I'm at least $800 in. 1 quarter here, 50 cents there.
Oh,
I don't know.
I got my arm stuck in a vending machine at camp, sleepaway camp one time.
Of course you did.
Oh.
You were trying to impress the other kids. You couldn't just be Bert. You had to go in there and steal a Zagnut bar.
No, I wasn't stealing. It didn't fall down. And then I was like, I bet I can get my arm up there. And I get my shoulder. I get my whole arm in the flap thing, right? And then I go up and over. And I get up. And as I get up, Bill, I'm like still a solid 12 inches away from the thing I'm going. And then they're like, harder. And I'm pushing. And And they go, I'm not going to get it, guys. And then all of a sudden, panic sets in. I'm like, can someone go get a counselor? I think I'm stuck. And I said, dude.
Could have you reached other shit? You should have started grabbing other shit.
The amount of when panic sets in, you just shut down. You're like, no, I can't get out of here. I need help, guys. Someone go call my parents. Oh
man.
Dude,
I actually remember one time when, the scrolly things. I ordered it I got like a Hershey bar or something. So I was working in the warehouse, and like it did like that. It does. It's like it's coming. It's like, and it just stays there.
Yeah. And
I'm like, what the fuck? And there was this dude, Joe Hall, rest his soul, was like built like a fucking refrigerator. Just one of these guys, just could have played NFL football with a leather helmet. One of these guys. And I'm like, you fucking piece of shit. And he was like, what's the matter? I go, oh, the thing's stuck. Dude, he came up there like a bully and just went, bam, bam, bam. This fucking vending machine was like this, and it just fucking dropped out. And he goes, there you go. And walked away. I remember like the two hottest chicks from the company I was working at too were watching the whole fucking thing. And I was sitting like, I can't get my candy bar. Totally emasculated. And then this big fucking strapping guy comes in and fucking beats up the bully for me. And then just goes, there you go, and walked away. And then I had to like sheepishly reach in for my Hershey bar and just walk away. Thanks.
When we were seniors, we went to Florida, University of Florida, for a party. And it was at the SAE house. And I remember J-Bo Beer said, what do you want to drink? They had a big vending machine. And I said, ooh, Sunkist. And he goes, Sunkist? So he puts it in, hits it, and a Budweiser came out. And he was like, yeah, our vending machine's filled with beer. Help yourself. And I was like, I was a senior in high school. I was like, oh, one day I'll have a vending machine filled with beer. Just fucking gunk, gunk. And never happened again. Never saw it. Never did it again.
What vending machine had beer in it? That's incredible.
I know. It was in their fraternity house. It was awesome.
Oh. I see. I commuted, so I don't know any of the names of the frats.
Oh, yeah?
You were in a fraternity, right?
Oh, yeah. But then they put a bunch of produce in your ass, and then afterwards a week, they're like, hey, we're just fucking with you. Now we're all friends. I got punched in the fucking face. It was the hazing with us was really aggressive. But I don't remember being traumatized by it, but I remember it just being really aggressive.
I like how the way you're talking about it, it seems like you have vague memory of it.
I block a lot of it out, but I remember one time, I got in a lot of trouble one time, and they filled our mouths with the insides of pumpkins because we were doing a pumpkin social, filled our mouths with pumpkin guts and our hands, and we had to sit against the wall so I remember that.
I could have handled that. It's when they start doing like homoerotic shit with like the shit that I always heard. Like that was one of my first jokes.
What's that?
Like people like one of my first jokes on stage is just like, hey, do you want to? People ask me like, I commute. I'm a fucking loser. People always go, you're a college student. You're a member of a frat. And I always go, no. And they go, why? I go, oh, because I kind of have this thing about letting strangers shove fruit in my ass. I used to this whole bit about, like, I never understood after Hell Week, like, what, now we're going to hang out? Now we're fucking friends? I want to murder you. Did you ever see that article? I think Rolling Stone or somebody. Oh, Rolling Stone's, like, ridiculously liberal, so you can always got to take it with, like, a grain of salt. But they did a thing. People were talking about it. One of those Ivy League schools, like Dartmouth or something, there was this one fraternity, and they had this classic thing. It was called the Vomlet. And it was a bunch of, like you stir up some eggs, like you're going to scramble them, and then these people would fucking puke in it, and then they cook it. Ugh, I'm going to start gagging. Then you had to eat it. Ah, gross.
We, the one thing, me and my buddy, one time, right before, we were just became brothers, and so we're getting ready to initiate these guys. So we're out in the woods with them, and one guy, my buddy's like, we're hammered. We're like, come on, let's take him out. And so when you were, when it was Hell Week for you had to have a pack of condoms, a roll of quarters, a jar of Vaseline. Like you had certain things on you at all times, right? So we take him out into the woods. We're just fucking around, and we're like, he's like blindfolded, and we're like, all right, take your pants off. And he's like, drops his pants, and we're like, oh, okay. We're like, bend over, and he's like, bends over.
Where do you find fucking kids that would do? I would be like,
My-
no.
And my buddy and I are like, oh, pull your pants up, man. Like, have some self-respect. What the fuck, dude? We just gonna let it fuck you in the ass? Like, we thought you'd say no. We thought this would be a game to it. There'd be a little more action. He's like, real quick, pulls his ass cheeks. We're like, bro, pull your pants up. Your brother.
You already did. He went MacGruber.
Full MacGruber. I remember we were walking bad out of the woods. He has his mask, his bandana off his eyes, and he was like, "So wait, you guys weren't going to do anything?" I'm like, "No, no one does anything like that. We just thought it would be fun." You'd be like, "No," and we'd fuck with your head. And we're like, "God, man, you would let us fuck you."
Yeah, he mind fucked you. He agreed.
Oh, so quick. Oh.
Dude, by the way, MacGruber still to this day, it's just such an underrated comedy.
MacGruber is so fucking funny.
I heard somebody was at that table read. Was like, dude, you wait till this movie comes out. Said it was that like nothing he had ever seen. I think it was Neil Brennan was at the table read.
Really?
From MacGruber was like this thing. He goes, I have never seen a table read. It just fucking slayed. And then I remember I was like, oh man, I can't wait to see that. But it came and went so fast because it just wasn't marketed right. And I remember Verzi saw it and said, he goes, dude, I was literally punching my brother watching this movie. I was laughing so hard. So the second it came out, wherever it came out back in the day, because this movie's like 10 years old, right?
Probably,
like
yeah.
Yeah, I immediately watched it and I was just like, how did I miss this? That was like the beginning of like, there's too much shit out there that something as great as that can actually go get past people, which I have to admit, like this weekend, I was real nervous with Pete's movie coming out. I'm just like, there's just so much stuff to watch. There's all this social unrest and stuff. Is anybody going to take the time? Fortunately, people needed it, but you know, I don't know.
You guys get numbers on how it performed? Like, I know it's not like movie theaters.
I mean, I don't. I mean, I'm just a hired gun on the thing, so I don't get anything. So I don't know. So I think that I still think it's like the old days where you on Monday you find out like how it did. I remember hearing this great story about this guy who'd done a bunch of movies and was saying, you know, what it was like. You know, once you were an established director and people knew you made movies and knew you had a movie out, what it was like to go out to dinner that week, if it was a hit versus if it wasn't a hit.
Really?
And if it was a hit, everyone was looking at you and you were coming in like it was fucking Goodfellas. Oh. And if it wasn't, he said you would walk in and you literally felt, and he said the number, whatever his last thing did. He said you walk in, you feel like everybody was looking at you like $850,000 domestic, which back in the day was a flop, depending on what an independent, I guess it would be. But like, I remember like back in the day for like something to be a hit movie. Like, do you remember when Sandler movies would come out and they would do 30 million?
Yeah.
Back when like your option was, you know, very, you know, like hit movies would come out. Sandler movies would come out, would do 30 million, and Jim Carrey movies would come out and would do like 30 million in a week. Like 20 million was like unbelievable. And then they would do like 30 million. That's what's amazing too. Now that I just said that, how they still go like, you know, you're a comedian, you can actually act and blah, blah. And I want to be like, comedians have been like doing box office for my whole career. I mean, I think I was like a year in and Ace Ventura came out.
Yeah. It's interesting how they're going to quantify a success in the way that media is being released now, because it's such a long tail that like we saw The Gentleman. Have you seen that yet?
No.
It's a Guy Ritchie movie. Fucking awesome. Amazing. But I think
I love Guy Ritchie. I got to see that.
Dude, it is, Bill. It is a great movie. It is me. I watched it with the girls and we loved it. And, but like, I don't think there's an urgency to see things on demand these days the way there was. Like, it's weird. Things have changed so much that I wonder how they quantify success. I wonder if there's a way that they're going to make movies for less and find a way to shortcut it so that they can make their money back easier. I wonder if the days of the big blockbuster with what's going on.
The thing that it had, what they had going for them back in the day, as far as less competition, they also had this thing of like, I need to go see this because if I miss it, I miss it. Like when I was a kid, if you didn't see a movie, you just missed it.
Yeah.
Maybe in the next 10 years, they showed an edited version on television, and that was only if it was a classic. Then it became, I need to see this because or I'm going to have to wait 8 months to a year before it gets to Blockbuster. And then it became, somewhere along the line, it became like, you know, you were waiting a couple of weeks. And so now I think, and then when it gets on a certain streaming system, it's just out there. So I remember a buddy of mine, when I was doing Breaking Bad, I was, you know, because I was as big a fan as anybody of the show. That's how I ended up getting on it, because I was bugging my agent. I could, like, right after the 3 episodes in, I was like, dude, anything, I'll fucking carry meth in the background. Just get me on the fucking show if you can. I remember my buddy saying to me, like, I go, dude, you got to watch the show, man. Each week, every time he puts out one fire, the fire gets bigger. The way they're telling this tale is amazing. And my buddy was just like, yeah, dude, I'm just going to wait till it's over, and then I'll just binge it in a weekend. I just remember thinking, like, all right, I guess you can do that. And I always looked at that like, you know, certain shows you can do that with.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I don't know. Some things, if like people really take time and they're telling the story at the level of something like that, that to me is like, you know, I don't know, like you get some Pappy Van Winkle and you use it as a chaser. You know, you drink it and then you wash it down with a Coors Light or something. It's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Or shotgunning a bottle.
Bingo bongo.
Yeah, bingo bango. Joe DeRosa's buddy. Yeah. By the way, we got to get Joe on this thing so we can fucking talk about give that guy an actual name.
Yeah, we do.
Shout out, bingo bango guy.
Yeah, I'd love to get. I think Joe's great. I think Joe's fucking great.
He's just, yeah, he's another guy that, like, you know, when people figure out how funny he is, he's gonna blow up. Like, you know, I don't know. Not everybody that people just see him and they get it. Like, I finally got this thing. I finally got something where it looks like this is going to be something for me. I just turned 52.
Yeah. I heard when I was listening to you and Rogan, I was like, you guys were saying we're both turning 52. And I was like, nice. I'm 5 years behind them. So almost 6 years behind. That's great. I got some time to make my $290 million deal, whatever the fuck he signed.
Oh, that, yeah, dude. You're already there. You already made it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, if you're going to consider like not making it unless you do what Rogan does. I mean, Rogan is like, dude, that guy's on the Mount Rushmore of stand-up comics of his generation, broadcasters.
I want to do a movie, Bill.
Podcasters. He's on like 3 different Mount Rushmore.
I want to do. I looked at it this week. It was a really great podcast of you and jokes. I was on the treadmill, I was running, and then towards the end, I just started walking, and I started going like, okay, like, because as soon as you did that, I was like, oh, Bill's movie's out. So I texted our friends who have a screening room. I said, let's, because it's $20, let's all get together and we'll all watch it tonight. And they're like, great. And then I was like, all right, what do I want to do? Like, what do I want to do? And I was like, man, I really want to do a movie. I really want to do a sitcom, like a multi-camera sitcom. I go, I got to do a movie. I got to do a fucking movie. Like, I got to be a part of making a movie. And so it's cool though I wonder if other people get this. Like Andrew Schultz has a great new segment that he does on Instagram where he does like a rant on something. Like it's like a 2-minute rant. It's really great.
There's another self-made guy, by the way. For all you young comics, look at that guy. Go ahead. Sorry.
But I watch that and I get this like almost like a hunger going, I got to create something. I got to make something. I can't just be stagnant. I got to do something. And I'm listening to you and Bert, Rogan talk, and I'm like, God damn it, man. Like, I got to do something. I got to and I think it's also because I've been fucking in quarantine for 90 days and I haven't been.
Yeah, dude, I would use some words to describe you, but stagnant would not be. You're kind of prolific. You always have something. You got this fucking drive-in movie thing coming out.
Hey, flip-flops. We just sold out of our flip-flops, my signature flip-flops.
Look at that. Yeah, look, that's your idea of being stagnant.
I know. I was looking at this book of flip flops. That's one of the things I want to talk to you. We got to get going soon. You got a newborn, but
Yeah, I do. I can feel the tension
but I was
growing
like,
that I'm not in there.
I was looking at this book of shoes, and I was like, God, man, Kevin Hart's got his own shoe. I need my own shoe. And then I was like, oh, I got a flip flop. Oh, never mind. I'm good. What shoe would you like? Do you miss where you go? God, like I was looking at the Nike cross trainers. Do you remember those Bo Jackson ones?
I go back 10 years before you, so I would say there was a Dr. J or Daryl Dawkins Converse All-Star. That wasn't the Dr. J, which was the clean one. It was the one that had it was still looked like the Dr. J high top, but up here around the ankle had this red spongy thing that like they never reissued it. It was like 5 years before the Converse Weapons when they did the Bird and Magic.
Dude, I was looking for those shoes the other day because I was watching the Jordan documentary, and you see Bird wearing the black ones.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to get a pair of those. You can't find them.
Yeah, they occasionally like re-release them. It's like the, you know, the McGriddle or the McRib, whatever fucking McDonald's does. They'll occasionally do it. But the problem is that those sneakerheads are like the fucking people waiting for the new iPhone. It just takes all the fun out of it. Like, I just hate that whole fucking thing that if I want something, there's only a limited amount on purpose, and they're trying to create this frenzy to, you know, hype the next product. And I just, whenever I see that, whenever I just see a bunch of fucking people buzzing around a hive, I just go, I'll go somewhere else. I don't need to deal with this. Yeah. I already know what my next thing is that I want to do.
The movie?
No, just the next dumb thing that I don't need that I want to buy. I already know what that is.
What is it?
There's an old car that I'm gonna buy. I don't know. I was going like I can't keep it away. Rogan goes, keep it at my place, and I'm like, now they got the wheels turning. It's like, was Joe just saying that?
No.
Joe mean that?
Joe means it. I almost bought a motorcycle. I texted Joe. I was like, hey man, if I buy a motorcycle, can I keep it at your place? And he was like, why? And I was like, and I couldn't tell him because my wife will fucking kill me if she knows I bought a motorcycle. But I can go over to your place.
You can't drag him in there because then if you kill yourself, then Joe has to go to the funeral with shades on, and then she'll see him over the casket.
Yeah.
It was because of you in your garage.
Well, listen, let's wrap this up. Get you back to the kids.
Okay.
How's your daughter dealing with having a brother?
Oh, dude, she has been such a sweetheart. The first night though, when I was reading the story, I always read her a story before she goes to bed, and I sing the "I Love You, Barney the Dinosaur" song to her. And when I was going to put her to bed, she looked at me, she goes, "He's too loud." Like really serious, look at me going, "He's too loud."
We should talk about this now.
Yeah, like he needs to tone it down or he needs to get out was her vibe. But no, we just made her like really like anytime he cries, she runs in and wants to do the pacifier thing. Just make sure she feels like involved. And then I also make sure that I play with her a lot so she doesn't feel, I mean, it's a big thing. All of a sudden there's just this other person, but she loves that his room is across from hers and all of that. And I think they're going to be great friends. And they looked almost identical when they were, like, my wife sent me like a picture of my daughter and then my son, and she goes, who is who? I could tell, obviously they're my kids, but like how similar they look. So it's really cool that they, because people in my family, we sort of have the same features, but we look really different. So I think it's cool that they're going to look alike.
Yeah. When how soon until your parents can come out?
I don't know. I tell you, I've really been missing the East Coast and really been missing Massachusetts, and was actually thinking, in my quarantine haze out here, thinking of just fucking selling my house and moving back there. But it's just like the reality is this business that I'm in is here. And then also I would miss all you guys, like my lifelong friends that I don't even realize because, he's so busy like working that like, how long I've known you, how long I've known Bobby and DeRosa and, I've known Rogan. I mean, I just known all you guys. I would be like moving. It'd be like you guys died. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, that is one of the great things about podcasting is I feel like it keeps us like connected and that type of shit. But, I was watching this show, something about Boston. What was it? Something Boston was these guys flipping houses out there. And it just really made me like appreciate where I grew up and, not being in all like the show busy shit out here. But I think they're still going to have a pretty normal upbringing. I'm a curmudgeon.
I was looking at houses in Key West the other week. I was like, that's it. I'm going to move to Key West. We'll move to Key West. I'm going to open a bar, stand-up club. I'll do stand-up every night. It'll be like, we'll do jazz one night. I'll play the guitar.
You'd be the Jimmy Buffett of fucking stand-up comedy.
I'm a lifestyle brand, Bill. My daughter goes, he's a lifestyle brand.
There's a lot of money in that.
Dude,
I'm such a dope. I thought Jimmy Buffett and Warren Buffett were the same person. I thought he wrote that song and then got really good at business and transition. All right, I got to get back, or she's going to kill me here.
Awesome, bro.
All right?
Well, hey,
all right, brother.
Have a great time with the newborn. Have fun. I'll talk to you next week.
And thank you for all the nice things you said about me. You know how that feels when something comes out and another comic that you respect likes it. Thank you, and thank you to you too, Andrew, and anybody out there that watched it. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. And then once again, this has been another fun episode of the Bill
Bert
Podcast. See you next time.
Congrats, Bill.
Thank you, buddy.
Take care, guys.
See you, Andrew.